Hello, everyone. So glad to be with you again. I always look forward, as I say almost every week, to sharing some time with you and basically sharing what's on my mind. Uh, a couple months ago, I celebrated a new decade in my life, and instead of blowing out candles, I sat at my kitchen table and quietly admitted to myself some truths. I've spent a lifetime of sort of avoiding. I mean, I knew what was happening, but I sort of avoided these truths. There was no dramatic music. There was no movie aha moment. Just me, a lukewarm cup of coffee, and the hum of the refrigerator. Uh, Aging doesn't arrive with fanfare, I have found. It sneaks in with quieter friendships, slower mornings, and a strange new honesty that you just can't ignore anymore. And so, that one morning, I finally said to myself, this is a new chapter, whether you like it or not. And just like that, the truths I resisted for decades began rising to the surface. The truth is, children grow, and so must we. We grew up believing raise them right and they'll take care of you forever. But that's not how life works anymore. Kids are juggling kids of their own, jobs, mortgages, exhaustion. They love you, but from a distance, life forced onto them. A text message has replaced a visit. A 3-minute call replaces an afternoon together. I smile, but I feel the ache for the time we used to have to spend with each other. Children bring joy, but they are not responsible for filling the loneliness I might refuse to face. Well, think about that. My children are not responsible for my happiness. Another truth that I've faced is my body is not a guarantee. One morning, my knees sound like bubble wrap. On another, my breath feels shorter than it used to. And then a few days later, I feel like I'm on the top of my game. I've become to realize health was the foundation beneath every ordinary day. And now that foundation needs attention instead of assumptions. I have to do the work to keep myself as active and as healthy as I possibly can. When I was younger, um, I really thought my body was on my team. Now that I'm older, I understand it's my partner. And like any partner, it needs care, not neglect. I need to pay better attention to the signals my body is sending me. I must stay active. I must keep my body strong. I must do my due diligence every single day. And part of that is eating healthy. Whatever eating healthy is best for me. I can't use your plan. I have to find my own. The next truth that I faced, and this is the last truth I'm going to share with you before I get into what I did uh, or am doing now in process, because this will be ongoing, I think, for the rest of my life, probably. Excuse me. Thank you. I have faced the fact that retirement, as much as I enjoy it and love it and relish in it every single day, is not a rescue plan. There's a quiet shock when you realize that bills don't retire, Groceries don't retire. Emergencies don't retire. Uh, Depending on systems and promises actually can be a pretty risky business. Depending on myself, now that's stability. Even a few dollars saved consistently feeds a power within me that you can feel in your chest. And that power within me says freedom. I have the freedom to go out for coffee with my friends. I have the freedom to um, get in my car and take a little day trip, whatever. That all comes from being in a stable state of being and taking care of myself in all aspects of my life. And here's where I'm writing this new chapter comes into play. I need some guidelines to steer me through this new adventure in my life. And I think every stage we get into with our lives is a new adventure. And I have just a few rules that I try to follow. There are not many of them, there are only seven. And the first rule that I try to follow every single day is to take care of my future self. If that means setting aside money, okay. Setting aside energy, setting aside time, not for fear, but for my own dignity. I owe myself the comfort that I maybe once hoped my knight in shining armor would provide for me. I can do this. I can provide these things for my future self so that I can live in dignity. Rule number two, treat my health like it is my most loyal friend. It's the only thing that follows me everywhere I go. I can walk, I can stretch, I can drink more water, I can eat the things my body thanks me for, not the ones it forgives me for, more often than not. And most importantly, I can rest, not because I'm old, but because I am human. Human beings need the restorative time that rest provides. It's essential to keeping good health. My third rule as I enter this new phase in my life is to build my own joy. No one else has a map to my happiness. I create it myself. Nobody else can make me happy. Some of the things that build my joy is an easy morning, just taking it slow and gentle, sitting here at the table as I am today, drinking this cup of coffee and looking to a future that is full of promise and excitement. A warm blanket. In cold weather, what doesn't feel better than to snuggle down under a warm blanket? Taking up a hobby I never had time for before, but always wanted to give a try. A sunrise or a sunset that I finally took the time to just be still and appreciate. I've found that when I learn to enjoy my own company, loneliness becomes quieter and softer, something I can live with and still be happy and not suffer from. Rule number 4, aging, and we all hopefully will age a long, long time, is not a weakness unless I surrender to it. Some people turn every day into a complaint, and eventually everybody stops listening. But operating from a place of strength, Strength draws people in. Strength earns respect. Strength writes a different story. I'm still here. I'm still me. I'm not a victim of anything. I am the same person I've always been with lots more experience. Rule number 5, let go of yesterday gently. The past is a sweet place to visit, but it is a painful place to live. Let it go, not because it wasn't beautiful, but because it already has given me everything it was meant to give me. I can go back and reflect on priceless memories, but I don't live there anymore. I have moved on whether I wanted to or not. Rule number 6, I need to guard my peace like the treasure it is. Not everything that crosses my path deserves a reaction from me. Sometimes people just share stuff to share stuff. They don't expect me to act on it in any way. They just want to know they were heard. Another thing is not every argument deserves my presence. I can actually walk away from an argument and it will go on or it won't go on without me. And that's okay with me. I guard my peace. I treasure that. Not every person deserves full access to my heart. I protect what keeps me calm. Uh, Just because I'm there doesn't mean you need to take advantage of my willingness to listen. Rule number 7, and this is the last rule. Uh, Learn one new thing every day. Do not let the sun set upon you until you have learned one new thing. It could be a new recipe. It could be a new fact. It could be a new technology. It could even be a new way to fold fitted sheets. I should have taken videos of myself learning this new technique for folding fitted sheets that I had found on the internet as a YouTube video. I think I turned that sheet in me every which way but loose, but eventually I learned how. And now nobody cares but me, but I have these really nice stacks of sheets instead of the wadded mess that I used to have. So it was a good thing. Uh, our brains need movement. Learning keeps us alive inside. Curiosity is a fountain that does not dry up unless I stop sipping from it. And I hope that I will always sip from the fountain of knowledge deeply each and every day. And I hope the same for you. And this leads me to my final truth as my new chapter begins. And it is this: no one is coming to live my life for me. Not my children, not the government, not my friends, not the promises I made to myself decades ago. But here's the part that surprised me. I am still capable of shaping my days into something beautiful. Aging doesn't take my power, it actually reveals my power. So, as I end sharing with you what's on my mind today, I will close with just saying something is the choice is mine. The choice is yours. Uh, I can shrink into the shadows of my life or step into this new chapter that has revealed itself with strength, clarity, and grace. I am older, but I am not done, not even close. And each day you can say the same thing. I may be older, but I'm not done by a long shot. I still get to keep turning each page and being delighted with what lays before me. Celebrate yourself, celebrate the gift of this present today, and have fun in whatever you're doing. I will talk to you later. Bye for now.